Guys, I think I got to know what this team's capable of tonight. I don't know if we'll get to the playoffs. I do know that we'll get to some footy in a little bit. However, we gotta see what this team can do this year. Draft to Glory that I love to do is a world tour. We did that kind of in Madden. It didn't work very well for that way. Spin a wheel to decide what country team you can draft from in a given year. Reaver like 20 minutes, half an hour. Honestly, I don't hate the world tour idea. We'll have to bring that back at some point, won't we? Won't we? Oh, good! We start off this season against Vancouver. A reminder of what we look like one more time for this year. We have tried to finely tune this roster as best we can. Forsberg, Gretzky, Bure, Eliash, Datsuk, Keane, Courtnall, Gilmore, Falloon, Thornton, Green, and Barnaby. Defense is Pronger, Blake, Ozelinch, Brown, Chara, and Rafalski. Patrick Waugh and Jim Carey are in, and the AI put Jim Carey in for the first game. So even our coach knows not to play Patrick Waugh against the Vancouver Canucks. Tremendous. Absolutely tremendous. In terms of our ratings for the year, 98, 95, 88. You got to win something, boys. You got to win something. You got to do it. I'm tempted to take a look. Actually, really quickly. I'm not going to go through like every team or anything like that. The Coyotes still have their really good top line. Bruins, man, Cam Neely is still playing at 33. Good for him. Marty Jellin ended up going there. Buffalo, they still have the LaFontaine, McGillney, Howard-Chuck combination, but they're getting old. Calgary still has their really good top line, really their top six. Carolina, honestly, looks pretty good too. I mean, this is what I was thinking. Most teams are pretty damn well balanced. Jesus Christ, though. I mean, Colorado, if they didn't have Paul Kariya in that position, they'd have Peter Forsberg. But they signed Ray Shepherd and brought back Garpenlov. Sweet Christ. I just had a very fun experience. Someone sent me my IP address and address. Good. Tell them to come visit and suck your big dick. That's what I tell people when they try to act funny on the internet. They also signed Terry Yake, but we know he sucks in the playoffs. So Colorado slash Quebec is still great. Dallas is great. I punched my microphone. Can you tell I'm frazzled? Detroit has no depth anymore, but they still have Steve Yzerman. Edmonton's pretty good, but they're old. I mean, again, most of these teams, Pittsburgh as well, they're still looking really good. There's just no easy path. There's never going to be an easy path at this point. But let's do it. Another season in San Jose. Trade for Jágr, impossible. He's too expensive. He is literally untouchable. I wish. Oh, good. Brian Rafalski in the first game of the season. Sprained his MCL. So, Rick Natras, his replacement, also got hurt. Love to see it. Peter Forsberg is injured. You know, I should have foreseen that. He had an injury history. Holy God. Just immediate injuries. Steve Kariya, come on down. We have the superior Kariya. Who needs Paul when you can play Steve? +4 chemistry for Kariya, Gretzky, Bure. Let's fucking go. Steve Kariya, baby. Peter Forsberg is healthy. Thank fuck. Sorry. Oh, hold on. How did Steve do? 2 assists in 3 games, a +4 for Stevie Kariya. What a guy. Also, we have Denny Savard playing defense at the moment, but that's fine. Not too worried about it. Maybe I should be worried about it. We're not exactly crushing worlds right now. Brian Rafalski is healthy, thank God. Thank God. Slow start, but we've had some injuries, so we can forgive it. Gentlemen, we need you. I was going to say, since when is that third pair at -1? Okay, Juan and Carey have been phenomenal so far. Natris is back in the lineup, which is good. Send down Steve, or at least he's not back in the lineup, but he's healthy-ish. 8-5-1. It's not terrible. I hate how the calendar glitches out when you've been in the menus. Very good hat trick. I didn't notice. Weaker draft class than normal. Fair play. Tom Pody gets hurt. Jeff Brown is injured. So many injuries. Good lord. Go best lines in the AHL. Doug Gilmour is injured. We had some bad injuries. Sandish Ozelinsh is injured. Jesus. Like, we had some bad injury luck last year, and this is just picking up where we left off. Let's give Tamander a crack at the NHL level, because he never really developed. The amount of injuries, Jesus Christ, I think your opponents have been starting wood chippers. It would check out, wouldn't it? Wouldn't it, wouldn't it? Best lines in the AHL. We'll get Char and Rafalski up onto that second pair, though, so that's not too bad. Danny Briere is injured for Kansas City. Holy shit. Sergey Breland is injured in the AHL. Ozelinsh is healthy. But holy God, man. It's like, as the seasons have gone on, the injury consistency has only gone up. Doug Gilmour is healthy. Take Denis Savard out, who's a decent filler on that third line for Gilmour. Welcome back, Dougie. Welcome back. Sergey Breland will go best lines in the AHL. 15, 12, 2-1. We're in second in our division, which again is not quite what I had in mind. I had higher hopes than that. Jeff Brown is healthy. Goodness, that's a hell of a name. Hello, welcome. You're just in time to watch this team poop all over themselves, as they are often off to do. Not even often. As they are off to do often. Let's get Rick Natris out of there. Jeff Brown is back. We'll go best lines in the AHL. Shout out to Rick Zombo. Wayne Gretzky has broken his foot. He's only out for a month. But the great one is down. Peter Forsberg is hurt for the second time this season. The amount of injuries, staggering. Absolutely staggering. And very, very much has me concerned about the rest of this season. On January 1st, we are holding on to a playoff spot. Thankfully by 1 point, but we do have 5 games at hand on the Kings. Crash, we did it to test with injuries because turns out player durability still doesn't mean shit. And I could turn it off, but at this point I'm stubborn. It's tough to even properly grade this team on how they've done because we haven't kept a consistent lineup for so long. Patrick Waugh is still not providing top-notch goaltending. Jim Carey has. I don't think there's any reason to keep Patrick Waugh. I imagine his Remo does stuff. Thank you for the follow. You do stuff. Follow this channel. I thank you for that. How has Wayne been doing? He's been good, but not amazing. which is a little bit concerning. He's also dropped down to a second line forward. Shit. Well, I might have to go, man. Pronger and Blake. Blake isn't quite putting up the same points he was previously. Maybe the deal for Zuboff makes sense. Aside from that, Char only has 2 goals with gold thunderclap. Waugh and Gretzky might be on the outs, man. They might be. Just making sure no one's developed into, like, NHL caliber in terms of the prospects, and they haven't. This is a bit scary. A little bit scary. For the forwards, Forsberg, 29 points in 32. I mean, it's not that bad. Denis Savard's played here, there, and everywhere as a depth option. Bure, I mean, certainly not bad. But still not quite what I was hoping for being honest. Elias has been okay. Pavel Datsuk's had a bad year, man. Just 3 goals. That second line hasn't worked. That third line, hit or miss. Fourth line's done their job. I think we got to explore at least one trade. We can't currently trade Wayne Gretzky. He is injured. However, we can target a Rob Blake for Sergey Zuboff trade, which is a little bit scary. But we can also throw Patrick Waugh into the deal to sweeten it. And at the same time, we can take on a couple of the guys that they have in the system, like Dunham, like Eric Fachot, to really round out the deal. And then I don't know if we can pick up the Rangers first, but Rob Blake and Patrick Waugh for Sergey Zuboff, a couple of goalies and 2 firsts. What do they think? Quite far off in value. Even 1 first would be pretty good. What if we have a third instead of 2 firsts? Still quite far off. What about just 1 first? A bit far off. So it'll be Blake, Waugh, Zuboff, Dunham, Fachot, and a first. We are going to have to add like a 6th rounder or something like that. But unfortunately, I've seen enough of Patrick Waugh as a Shark. 6th rounder wasn't enough. You bastards. Take my 4th. Dude, I am being extorted. They know trading for a good goalie is a terrible idea. Blake, Waugh, 4th and a 6th for Zuboff. Dunham, Fachot, and a 1st. There it is. Sergey Zuboff, welcome in. I hope you will be a better fit alongside Pronger. We'll send Fachot down to the AHL. And we'll see which of the goalies out of these kind of mid-level options can earn their spot and earn their keep at the high level. Jim Carey is going to get a chance. Dunham's actually going to be scratched from Manny Legacy. Defensively, +5 for Pronger Zuboff still. And then I'll move Gilmore. We can just temporarily bump people up. +5 was nice with Falloon, but yeah, we'll drop Savard down. Actually, you know what? I want Datsuk there. Let's bump up Dougie Gilmore. The wily veteran an opportunity. So changes were necessary. I want to give Gretz a little bit more time because I have a feeling if he can get to the playoffs, he'll still be good for us. Whereas I just couldn't have any faith in Patrick Waugh. Like, Jekyll and Hyde. Oh, the Rangers will win the Cup this year. Don't worry. We gave them Rob Blake and Patrick Waugh. Also, we are crushing it in the aftermath of those trades. or that big trade, I should say. We finally lose a game. We are on fire. We lose to Dallas. Jeff Courtnall gets injured. That's a shame. Beat Edmonton. Gretz is healthy. Dude, we were flying. Like Dougie Gilmour was loving life there. So Gretzky has technically been playing on the third line. Let's go best lines. I want to put Gretz back up on that top line. Reunite the lines as we've had them. Put Savard as the third line center as our depth option. How are the special teams doing? That's a very good question. But I am trusting, perhaps naively, but I am trusting that it can be doing well. So Legacy's done well. We'll take Carey out and run Dunham and Legacy for the moment. And again, just go best lines in the AHL in case of player development and stuff like that. We're almost to February, so we'll double-check stats at that point. Jeff Courtnall is healthy. Again, we tried to finely tune this team, player types, maximize line chemistry, all that stuff. We're now first in our division, though. That's a good turnaround. 2 points up on the Flames with 2 games at hand. However, the Canucks are 3 points back. They have 4 games at hand. Pavel Bure, 41 goals in 54 games, has 64 points. So we are first in our division for the moment, but again, the games at hand can often get kind of crazy. The Rangers are currently the best team in the league. We are not in the top 8. Goals for, we're mid-table. Goals against, third fewest in the league. Power play at 17%, which is mid-table. Penalty kill towards the top. So we're not scoring enough, is what that indicates. The problem is, are we not scoring enough because of the obscene amount of injuries? Holy shit, how many times in a row are we playing Tampa? 3 Tampa games in a row. That is batshit insane. Let's take a look at the lines here. I mean, obviously, it's only been a month. Not a ton has changed. How has Zuboff done since coming here? 9 points in 15 games plus 5. That's not bad. Jeff Brown, certainly not putting up the points that we would have wanted. Nor is Chara. I mean, you really have to wonder if speccing into fucking defensive defensemen is the best way to go, because having these more offensively talented defenders right now isn't doing anything. Forsberg, 40 and 47 is pretty good. Gretzky, over a point per game still. We know Bure is doing well. Eliash looking okay. Datsuk's been looking better. Mike Keane has not worked. In terms of the names that we had that could potentially play in Keane's spot, we also had Tony Granato or Jere Lehtinen. Jeff Courtnall, not great. Whereas Gilmour's done well. Pat Falloon, not great. If we're being honest. For what we need him to be, he hasn't been great. I'm not opposed to making some changes here. So I still have a little bit of a short list of who we might want to get. So Los Angeles had Tony Granato, 88 overall at 34 years old, 29 points this year with a bunch of abilities. Dallas had Jere Lehtinen, 25 and 87, bunch of abilities. The problem with Lehtinen is he's a second liner, so he could stunt his abilities. Was Granato also a second liner? Yes. But if we use Granato instead, if he loses his ability after a season, whatever. If Lehtinen loses his abilities, that really would suck, but he has been great this year. And I love me a Finn. So let's risk this. We're going to go after Yuri Lettinen. We're going to give up Mike Keane. He just hasn't really worked compared to what we wanted. And we can throw some extra picks into the deal. Can we do Mike Keane for Yuri Lettinen plus? It's going to be difficult because they don't want to trade Lettinen. Third rounder is going to be too much. Will this work? If we take out the fourth. Damn. Straight up Mike Keane for Yuri Lettinen. There we go. So we'll see if Yuri is a better fit for this team. Which I hope that he is. I need a third line sniper who is actually a sniper. Because that's not Pat Falloon. He is very much not a sniper, even though he's a sniper. He just keeps putting up assists. I need a guy that can contribute some offense here. So give me a third line scoring forward, an actual sniper, preferably a righty. I love the X Factor search type. Let's do one or more. The only other two aside from Falloon are Mike Gartner or I think it's Brad Kudelski. It's Bob Kudelski. Mike Gartner could fit the bill, but he's currently hurt. How long is Mike Gartner out for? Of course, we can't see from the screen because that would make too much goddamn sense. But how long is he out for? Because he might be that fit that we're looking for. Detroit, if I'm not mistaken. He's only out for about another 2 weeks. Okay. Okay, so we'll keep him in mind. And then Jeff Courtnall, somebody else who might be able to do damage once the playoffs get here, but I'm not feeling it. Give me a third line checking forward. I don't even know if a power forward would be considered checking forward. Apparently it would. We got some generated dudes. We also have Keith Primo. Keith Primo is a third liner, really. He's been bad, though, as a center, too. So there's Suhonen, who was just drafted. Mark Messier. Larry Zelapukin. Ooh, Zelapukin's been pretty good. He's got wheels. He's got truck. What about a third line scoring forward, power forward? Oh, okay, it just shows the same guys no matter what. Zelapukin might be a good fit. He might be. So if we give up, granted it's not much to give up, Jeff Courtnall at this point, this is going to be expensive. But if it means we win a cup, 100% worth it. I mean, now might be the time to give up Pat Falloon, but we're going to hold him for the moment. I hate to say it, but some of the prospect farming we've been doing, it's time to start using these guys. Because they're not breaking through. Danny Briere. Hate to do it. But now is the time. Zelapukin, 2/5, 2/6 for Jeff Courtnall and Danny Briere. Too much. Take out a fifth. And this might not even go through, even with the safety netted picks. Take out a sixth. Oh, shout out to the Chrono Trigger soundtrack, but not right now. Oh. Yeah, I had a feeling with them not wanting to trade Zelapukin, we'd be the ones having to give up picks. So be it. What about a third rounder from Boston? How about another third rounder, this one from Arizona? Okay, there it is. So Zelapukin is in, Jeff Courtnall is out. And there is not much time left for Pat Falloon to save his job on this team. We are trying to make the necessary changes. Honestly, Wayne Gretzky is somewhat on the hot seat as well. That fourth or third line is now a +5 between Zelepukin, Gilmore, and Falloon, which is phenomenal. And then we want to take out Denny Savard for Travis Green. The face-off. I mean, look at that, dude. 2 +5s. 3 if you include the defense. Come on now. Come on now. We gave up a bit of the AHL skill to do this, but come on now. And we'll see if our third line, depth scoring needs have been addressed. Pat Falloon needs to score some goals. I think he had actually, hold on. Let's double check how many he had. I think he had 12. I need him to have more than that. It was 11. Pat, I need you to be close to 20. I'm not saying it has to be 20, but I need you to be close to 20 goals, or this just isn't going to work. Let's see what you can do. I swear to God, I thought that was going to be Pat Falloon injured. But it was Zdeno Chara. Natras is also hurt. We beat Tampa 3 in a row. Holy injuries. Okay, the second we sort things out with the team, the injury bug bites us in the collective bootay. Whatever, I'll just run Denny Savard as the defenseman. It's not the first time. Natras is healthy. We'll get him back in. Falloon, what do you have for goals, buddy? We're halfway through the month. He's got 3. That's not bad. Not bad. I don't know if it's going to be enough, but it's not bad. He got absolutely pooped on by the Blues. Sandis Ozelinsh is injured. Dude, the injuries. This is going to be my last season with the injuries off. I mean, I wanted to use Cam Neely as an experiment, just to see what the deal was. And the deal's not pretty in terms of durability. Jeff Brown is injured. Oh, my God. Jeff Brown is healthy. Let's go best lines for the moment, then. Doug Gilmore sprains his ankle. Cool. 35 wins on the year. We are in first in our division. 3 points up on Calgary with a game at hand. Bure now on 55 goals in 67 games. Coming up on the trade deadline, this is our time. It's one more check to see if we can perfect this lineup. Dougie Gilmore, chef's kiss. He has been awesome in that depth role that we've needed him to play in. Ozelinsh as a second pair defenseman. He's been great. No worries about him. Goalies, Mike Dunham has been awesome since coming to the Sharks. Jim Carey, And then Manny Legacy. Legacy has still only played those 3 games. Okay. Goaltending-wise, I mean, Christ, if we're not good with them, we're not going to be good with anybody. Pronger. Good. Zuboff. Stellar. Half a point a game, +9 in his time here. That's not bad. Jeff Brown. I'm still worried about Jeff Brown, man. He's not putting up a ton of points, but he is good defensively. You just have to wonder, because he's behind Zuboff, how well is that going to work? Chara hasn't been getting any points whatsoever. The Natras been a terrible depth option. Rafalski's been okay. Trading Jeff Brown for an outright defenseman could be a move, but again, I don't think that's a defenseman good enough. And if we set up these lines as we normally have them, or at least as close to normal as we can get, because of the injury to Dougie Gilmore. Peter Forsberg. I'm good with that. He's not taking too much attention away from Bure. I mean, I was kind of hoping it would be a little bit better than what it is. He does hit a decent amount, block shots. A lot of takeaways, though. So, I mean, he's good, strong on the puck. Pass the ball to Tucker. Gretz. I mean, at his age, it's tough to complain about being over a point per game. Could we get an upgrade on him? Probably, but is it worth it? Bure, the 55 goals. Yuri Lettinen has been atrocious since we acquired him. Fuck. He was so good on Dallas. He has not worked on this team. Datsuk still doing well. I mean, obviously defensive first, putting up some points. Same for Eliash. We just cannot get them the right wing that they need. Valeri Zelepukin hasn't contributed at all in terms of scoring help. I mean, well, let's see. In a full season, you do 84 divided by 13 times that by 4. Yeah, he's on pace for 25 points. That's not good enough, man. That's not good enough. Pat Falloon, 4 goals in that month. He's got to go. And then we know that the fourth line has done great. Lettinen's got to go, and we got to solve the wing issue. Although, yeah, I mean, Doug Gilmour's been good, though. If Doug Gilmour was bad, we could drop Gretzky down to the third line. Shit, dude. I at least want to get through this trade deadline. I want to get these deals done before the trade deadline, too. Just because I don't really want to be on a timer. I mean, the first guy we know that we need now is Tony Granato is my last hope. Mike Keane didn't work. Yuri Lettinen didn't work. My only hope is that Tony Granato is the fit for that right wing on the second line. 1-for-1 doesn't work, which doesn't surprise me. Gartner is still being considered, but he's being considered for the third line. See if I can use like Linglet to get that over the line. We won't use Petrangelo. Can I use Rubeetle? This low 6 filler. Do you have anybody else that we can use here, not named like Mark Savard? Tony Ludman could be used. Yeah, too many skaters. How many unsigned guys do we have left that might have some value outside of Petrangelo? Pretty much nobody. Well, we'll use that group as a 4th round pick enough to get this deal over the line. No. Is a 3rd round pick enough? No. Oh my God. Is a second round from Toronto enough? Jesus Christ, really? I'm getting robbed here. 2nd and a 3rd? Dude, they are robbing me blind. 2 seconds, Yuri Lettinen, Linglet, and Ruedel. Quite far off in terms of value. Are you drunk? 3rd rounder from Colorado. Dude, I am getting robbed blind by the LA Kings. Holy shit. But I'm in desperation mode. I mean... shit. Okay. I'm in desperation mode. I gotta do it. We'll use the Rangers first. I didn't think this is the deal I'd get screwed on, but again, he is the only other player that really fits the bill outside of Keane and Lettinen, and we've already tried those latter two, and they haven't worked. They are robbing me blind. Okay. No, you can go fuck yourself. We'll find somebody else. We'll find somebody else, even if they're not as ideal. Good Lord. I am not going to get robbed blind to that extent. That is insane. It's still just those 3. Is there a veteran first liner that I don't have to care about beyond this season? Oh, we're not getting Daniel Alfredson either. Is there a 3rd liner that fits? Ryan Smolinski. I have no choice but to pay the King's price. I got no choice. Tony Granato's my last hope. Son of a bitch. They got me by the balls here. There's nothing I can do about it. First round pick from the Flyers. It's cup or bust. 2nd round and a 3rd round. Another third round. Another second round. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. We're going to win the cup, and it's not going to matter. I don't want to talk about it. Pat Falloon, you got to go. You got to go. And the perfect player for that spot is Mike Gartner. He is the target in exchange for Pat Falloon. At least Gartner can score goals. In theory. Second he gets here, he'll probably forget how. There we go. Pat Falloon for Mike Gartner and picks. Change up the third line. Granato and Gartner both here. And then Zelepukin has to go as well because he has really not worked out. I know, Fox, right? Is there even a vet of like a power forward that could work? I mean, Kevin Stevens is expensive as hell. Is there a second liner that fits this bill? A low value vet, Turgeon, Chelina, and then third line. Is there anybody that fits this bill, man? I mean, Mark Messier, we'd be playing him on the wing instead of at center. Reunite Messier and Gretzky for one more run. Fuck it. Who has a better story than the San Jose Sharks? Let's reunite Messier and Gretzky as I'm going to build the fucking Rangers into another cup-winning team based on these trades. Welcome in, Mark Messier. Not going to play you in your proper position, but whatever. This team should still be damn good on paper. We did acquire Zelepukin, and he sucked. So he is gone. GG is easy. We have an injury? That's right, we do have an injury to Doug Gilmour. So Messier, Gartner, Savard for the moment. It's going to be Forsberg, Gretzky, Bure, Elias, Datsuk, Granato, Messier, technically Doug Gilmour and Mike Gartner, the oldest line in hockey, and then Scott Thornton, Travis Green, Matthew Barnaby. Defensively, Pronger, Zuboff. Right now it's Chara Brown. It won't be. And then Dunham and Carey. The Kings, not the Kings, the Rangers, by the way, have 46 wins this year. We're not going to see what happens to this team in the playoffs tonight. But is there anything at the deadline that can entice me? The answer is no, because we already have everybody that we need. Yeah, no shit, you want to trade Mike Keane. Can't imagine why. I at least am going to find out if we're going to make the playoffs as Gary Suter gets traded to Dallas. Ted Donato, Don Sweeney, and company off to Montreal. That was the other blockbuster. I mean, right now we're in the lead in the division. Again, player types. We got a mix of youth and veterans. I mean, you got pretty much everything you could possibly want. Looks like we got multiple people healthy for the team. Are they fully healthy? Gilmour is not, but Ozelinch is. So let's get Sandish, the Mandish, back in there. Reunite him with Brown. We're going to wait till we have a fully healthy Doug Gilmour. There he is. So let's see what this team looks like in, its full form here. Because we haven't seen that yet. And it turns out that third line looks pretty fucking good. The defense, good. Dunham has still been pretty good as a Shark. We wanted carry out for Legacy to get Legacy more games. AHL go best Lions. I mean, it would be a disaster to not make the... We've already clinched the playoff spots. Yeah, there you go. I mean, we're crushing it. We're absolutely crushing it right now. An undefeated month. Undefeated in the month of March. Post-deadline. This team is absolutely poised. We do lose to the Rangers and badly. 104 points, 50 wins. For the first time, the top seed in the West for the first time. The San Jose Sharks are going back to the playoffs for the 4th year in a row, where we draw the Arizona Coyotes in round 1, while Calgary will play Vancouver. Detroit plays Chicago. St. Louis plays Dallas. Colorado, Ottawa, Montreal, Buffalo. Rangers, Flyers, Devils, Penguins. We finished as the 3rd best team in the league, only behind the Rangers and Avs, both of whom were astonishing. Both of whom we provided significant assets to. However, Paul Kariya is currently hurt for the Avs. But the Rangers, fucking Brian Leetch and Rob Blake with Patrick Waugh in goal, that could be a problem. That could be a big problem. But we are playoff bound. In theory, our strategies worked. Position by position, Wayne Gretzky as the playmaking top-line center. Maybe trying to push him a little bit too far, but, I mean, he was almost an assist per game. It's Wayne Gretzky even at 38. Mark Messier, who we acquired at the deadline. Perfect third liner. Yes! That is exactly the type of third line, power forward, offensively contributing player that we needed. We needed Mark Messier, and we got him. Phenomenal. Forsberg on that top line. Again, but he's playing with Pavel Bure, so it's fine. Pavel Datsyuk on the second line, not bad. Not quite as good as I wanted, but we know he provides good defense. Dougie Gilmour, perfect on the third line. Savard, the perfect depth, and Travis Green, really good for a fourth line center. Patrick Elias, phenomenal for a second line left wing. Thornton, tremendous for a fourth line left wing as a grinder. Bure, the goal was to get him back to 70. Mission accomplished. Does that make the Kariya trade worth it on its own? I don't know, but get the puck to Bure. Mike Gartner. Yes. It was worth it. On paper, it was worth it. I mean, granted, that one wasn't as controversial because he was replacing Falloon. The big question is who's up next, being Tony Granato. But so far, all of those deadline moves worked. So did Tony Granato's. Every single deadline move we made, this person fit in with the team. And Sergey Zuboff, who we acquired in the middle of the season, was great for us. Absolutely great. This team is 100% primed. So long as we can get goaltending in the playoffs. But shit, if we couldn't depend on Patrick Waugh, we'll rotate these three until somebody can make a save, make a stop, do something. This team has a chance, man. Holy hell, Craig Janney led the league in scoring at Yzerman, Hull, Sakic, and Dom Foose. Top 5 in scoring. The top goal scorers, Bure and Hull tied at 73. Mogilny, Yzerman, Roenick tied with Solani for 5th. And for the record, the assist leader was Craig Janney with 91, which probably isn't a surprise. He's playing with Brett Hull, so. Defensively, Nick Lidstrom, Brian Leetch, Larry Murphy, Al McInnes, and Scott Niedermayer led the league. top 5 at least. And you had 3 guys hit at least 30 goals. McInnes, Leach, and Kevin Hatcher. Now in Ottawa. Still in Ottawa. It was Darian who was a free agent previously. Winning us goaltenders, Brodeur, Joseph, Defoe, Fernandez, and Mike Dunham. Felix Potvin was up there as well for Montreal. The shutout leader with 5, you had Cujo and Tommy Salo. And the save percentage king for a starter was Martin Brodeur. Shout out to Hasek, who still did all right for Calgary. For the rookies, it's going to go to Tom Carjulo. Again, we're getting to the time now where generated dudes are going to take over. But we had a great season. Our best season. But can we win in the playoffs? AHL team, by the way, 50 wins in 80 games. They're going back as favorites in the playoffs.